Question 30 is another critical thinking question, which asks us which of the following, if true, most strengthens the argument. So I'll talk through the argument. Accident and emergency, or A&E units, have too many patients and not enough permanent staff to treat them. Working in A&E is not attractive to many doctors, the environment is frenzied, and the working hours are unsociable. Therefore, for these reasons, newly qualified doctors choose other specialisms. With too few permanent staff, hospitals are spending extremely large sums of money on temporary staff from agencies. One solution is to pay higher wages to permanent A&E doctors and provide an incentive to choose that specialism. The cost of the health service would be no greater and could be less, and as there would be no need to pay agency staff. We should make A&E more attractive to newly qualified doctors by providing financial incentives. So there's the argument. Now option A, the candidate statement which strengthens the argument, is that financial reward is not the most important factor for doctors. Now this undermines the argument given that it's suggesting that we should make A&E more attractive by offering financial incentives. This statement suggests that wouldn't work, so it doesn't strengthen the argument at all. Option B is that the fast pace of A&E work is too demanding for some doctors. Now we already know about the frenzied environment and the unsociable hours, so this doesn't add much to the argument. In fact, it might be suggesting that this approach of financial incentives might not be enough, so it doesn't strengthen the argument. Option C is that campaigns to reduce the number of people using A&E have been effective. Now, does this strengthen the argument? Well, the argument appears to hinge on the fact that we have too many patients and not enough staff, so suggesting that we have fewer patients would suggest that we don't need enough staff. So the entire argument breaks down, and that's not what we want. We want to strengthen the argument, so we don't want C. Option D is that some doctors choose to work for agencies in A&E to supplement their salaries rather. So the agency work appears to be an informal way of giving a financial incentive for them to work in A&E. So by instead offering them higher wages, we can support the argument that we don't need as many agency staff because these doctors would simply transition to having high salaries in permanent work. So this does support the argument, so we can highlight D. Option E is that permanent staff can provide a better standard of care than temporary staff. Now, although this may be a compelling argument to support the paragraph's conclusions that we need more permanent staff, the standard of care isn't an issue raised in this argument. The real issue raised is the one of the financial strains on hospitals which are paying lucrative amounts for these temporary agency staff, which is why we should go with option D, that some doctors choose to work for agencies to supplement their salaries, and we should instead transition them to permanent staff.